Hi, I'm Price Burton, and this is my Nanowrimo log. Today, we're doing questions! Did I just do one of those? First question comes from random duo Lindsay, who asks, who would win in a fight to the death? Voldemort from Harry Potter, or the bunny rabbit from the Monty Python movies? And although I'm a casual Harry Potter fan and a more hardcore Holy Grail fan, I'd have to say that Voldemort wins that because he's a snake and snakes eat rabbits. Second question from Rhymo Duo comes from Jamie, and her question is, what is your favorite word? And I like to say I have a favorite phrase. Is that alright? Is it acceptable? Judges? Would have to be grown-ass man. I like to start off sentences with I'm a grown-ass man, and then finish it off with some kind of responsibility that I have. Like, I'm a grown-ass man, I have to pay bills. The next question comes from Alter Your Clough, and it's a sci-fi question. She asks, what's your favorite Star Trek character, and what's the favorite episode that has that character in it? Now, that was a very, very difficult question. I don't think you realized how difficult a question that was, so I actually had to write it down so I wouldn't forget, because I have so many characters. I actually ranked them from the series all the way down. So, first, Voyager. Well, I shouldn't even count that, but I will. Lon Sutter was played by Brad Dourif, and my favorite episode of him was Basic, and he was a Betazoid who was psychotic. And in this episode, Seska, I don't know if anyone remembers, Seska takes over the Voyager, and Lon Sutter escapes from his prison cell and then kills everybody, saving Voyager, but, yeah. Number 5 is Ro Laren from TNG, played by Michelle Forbes, and my favorite episode of her was Ensign Ro, the first episode. We actually get to see the Maquis. Now everyone remembers TNG was very glossy, you know, happy, everything was fine, you know, Federation was in control, but this kind of showed like a seedy underbelly to the galaxy that was missing from TNG up until that. My fourth favorite character would be Lieutenant Arax from Star Trek the Animated Series. He really was kind of like background, but I just think it was cool that he had a third arm coming out of his chest, and they really couldn't do that in the other series. And my favorite episode of him would have to be the Infinite Vulcan, which would be one of his few speaking parts, and he was played by James Doohan. The voice was James Doohan, who played Scotty. My third favorite character was Dr. Julian Bashir from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and he was played by Siddig Al-Fadil, who changed his name after 9/11 to Alexander Siddig, which is kind of ironic because every character he played after Deep Space Nine was an Arab terrorist. My favorite episode of him, actually all the episodes with Section 31, I think it was really cool that they had a subversive, like, you know, do anything kind of group for the Federation that's been secret, like, since the beginning. My number 2 favorite character from Star Trek is number 1 from Star Trek, the original series, and she was played by Majel Barrett Roddenberry, and only was appeared in the Menagerie Part 1 and 2. And I thought it was badass they had a woman in command in the 60s. Very cool. And she was just in general badass that whole episode. My number 1 favorite character from all of Star Trek would have to be Shran, played by Jeffrey Combs in Enterprise. Enterprise is a very, very overlooked series in the Star Trek universe. I actually gave up on it after a few episodes because Voyager sucked so bad that I couldn't take any more Star Trek for a very long time. My favorite episode with Shran was United and Anar. It was a 2-part episode where it was basically the birth of the Federation. It was a very cool episode where he actually fought Captain Archer to the death. The TLTL headquarters asked me to read 78 words from a novel, this time in a British accent. I apologize to any of my British viewers.
Go tell Claude we found it. Don't be too obvious. Tell him the two of you should meet me behind the bar and behind the bathroom windows. Quicks moved away from Teddy through the crowd. Several of Pasquale's men filtered around the bar. They spotted Quicks. Slowly they began to circle. Teddy ordered a bottle of Russian vodka. He gave the bartender €100 and apologized. He smashed the bottle against the bar and lit it on fire.
It's more of a Welsh accent. House Pet Maria asks, how come you keep mispronouncing my name? My name is House Pet Marla. I'm so sorry, House Pet Marla. If you look at your name really fast, it looks like House Pet Maria, like a uppercase I or something. I apologize profusely. I'm so sorry that I mispronounced your name 2 times already. You've You've asked me questions every time for my Question Monday, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Emerald Ocean asks, what author would you like to be compared to? Now, I'm pretty sure she's talking about the body of works, but I'm going to compare myself to the man, and I would like to be compared to Ernest Hemingway, who's a very hard-living man who actually lived his adventures that he wrote about. Maybe I'm thinking Ernest Borgnine.